On behalf of Stephen Ross, Tom Garfinkel, the entire Miami Dolphin organization, congrats on your first win as a head coach.
So I didn't do I mean, you want to get me emotional? You want to get me emotional? Guys, I mean, it means the world to me. But you know what? I'll take that and I'll return it back. Everybody's getting a game ball. Because this one is one we can remember, okay? This one is one we can remember as the start of it. All the buildup, I'm so proud. We could feel it during the game. Things weren't necessarily going the way that we wanted to. But we didn't crack, okay? We were complimentary. 3-0 turnover battle, okay? That's how you win football games, okay? Learn from everything. I know I'm gonna be proud of the stuff we put on tape and we're gonna clean it up, okay? But that is what we do it for. And I was just so proud of you. Honestly, I just love you guys so much. I appreciate it. It means the world to me. Hey, how about Tua? Tua, get in here and break us down, okay? Get in and break us down. All right, let's go. Everybody in. Family. I love you guys, man. Good win. Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
The Miami Dolphins dominated the New England Patriots in the first big win of the season. And in doing so, Tua Tagovailoa notched his 4th consecutive win against the Bill Belichick New England Patriots. That's a feat that no other quarterback in the NFL has ever accomplished. The score was 20-7, and as bad as the Patriots played, and they played really bad, the Dolphins had the opportunity to score a lot more points. But I will never be one to look down on a win. But I think we all have to agree, the Dolphins have a lot of work to do. I love the fact that the Fins started off the Mike McDaniel era with a resounding win. Mike McDaniel bested Bill Belichick, and Tua Tagovailoa definitely bested Mac Jones. The defense played well. They blew a few plays, Needham, but overall, it's obvious that the defense was ready and came to play. For the most part, they completely shut down the Patriots. But in looking at this win and going back over the film, it's obvious the Dolphins have a lot of work to do. Let's look at the coaching first. We're going to have to grade Mike McDaniel a B+ in this game.
Man, man, McDaniels, he's going to need a wheelbarrow, man, for his nuts to carry around, man, because he got a lot of cocoa on this, you know what I'm saying? So, that's he called by him.
Like Tyreek said, that 4th down call was ballsy. McDaniel was an aggressive play caller, but some of the plays just didn't work. Some of those bootlegs were dangerous. Tua would roll out and there'd be a guy in his face. And those wide pitches with the blocking we had yesterday, they're not going to work. McDaniel can't afford to get predictable with his play calling. And some of these bootlegs and these wide pitch outs, they're looking predictable and they're getting stuffed. Let's go ahead and grade the defense a B-. Mac Jones had way too much time to throw the ball, and the guys up front have got to bring a lot more pressure. Lamar Jackson is the quarterback next week. If you don't pressure and contain him, you're going to be in for a long day and the Dolphins will be in trouble. The linebackers overall played well, but they're going to have to be tougher against the run. As for the secondary, obviously they pretty much shut down Mac Jones. But remember, Lamar Jackson isn't Mac Jones. I'll cut Nick Needham some slack and say he was just gassed on that long pass play that he was nowhere to be found. But if you're that gassed, man, get off the field. Secondary played well, but they better bring their A game against Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson won't walk wounded ducks like Wack Jones was heaving yesterday. As for the offense, overall, I'm going to grade that a C. There's a lot of room for improvement. No doubt. Starting up front, Mike McDaniel and Matt Applebaum have to come up with the right players and the right scheme to get the blocking done correctly. It was atrocious for the most part. In my opinion, the offensive line sabotaged the running game. They couldn't open any holes. They looked lackadaisical. They looked like they didn't know what they were doing. You can't have that. In fact, to me, as a former offensive lineman, they looked like they were out-toughed. That's a cardinal sin when you're playing on the offensive line for the guys in front of you to out-tough you. And watching them in pass protection, it just brought up a lot of bad memories. I could have pulled up old YouTube highlights like the one behind me and just watched the same offensive line have the same problems. It has to get fixed. They simply aren't taking guys on. They're not punching it out really well. They're just not doing what a strong offensive line should do. In tomorrow's video, I'll have some breakdown. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. In my opinion, the running backs get a pass. They showed great potential in the runs that they did succeed on and also in the passing game. It's obvious if there were any holes for them to run through, they would have exploited it and made some big gains. But there weren't any holes. And the running game would have opened up the passing lane as well if these guys could have made the defense, if they could have made the Patriots back off. When they were able to gain yardage, they looked impressive, no doubt. The receivers, what can we say? They performed as we expected. Get Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle the ball, and they're going to make things happen. They are going to give defenses fits all year long. But what are we going to say about Mike Gesicki? He had one catch for 1 yard, and he was targeted once. The fullback had more targets than Mike Gesicki. Something is obviously wrong. I don't know if he was hurt, but if he doesn't fit in with the offense, if they're not going to use him, trade him. Cut the guy loose if we're not going to use him. He was a ghost in the entire game. If Mike Gesicki doesn't fit into the offensive scheme, move him now. If he has a bad season, his trade value is going to go down. So do something. And as for Tua Tagovailoa, he played well. Did he play great? No, but he definitely played well. Despite what you might hear in the media, I watched every play of the game, as maybe you did as well. And he did what he was asked to do, and he was efficient. Efficient. He managed the game, and he had no turnovers. But the one thing with Tua is he has to stop trying to make plays. If the play isn't there, kill it. Kill it. Do your progression, look to your first receiver, look to your second. If it's not there, kill it. You do not have the luxury of having an offensive line that's going to hold you past your first, second, or third progression. Don't worry about trying to make a play. Kill it. Live to make another play. Tua can't afford to keep taking the hits that he was taking yesterday. He has to understand the limits of the offensive line he's playing behind and that he just doesn't have time to make a play. The Dolphins need Tua on the field. Period. They can't afford to have him hurt. He's got to learn from the NFL greats. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, for the most part, don't take those kind of hits. They recognize if a play's not going anywhere, get rid of it. Give someone in the stands a souvenir, but do not take those kind of hits. The media will give Tua a lot of shit, as they always do, but he played better than a lot of the quarterbacks did this weekend. The sports journals out there that hate Tua won't mention it, but he played better than both Super Bowl quarterbacks did this past weekend. Joe Burrow lost and threw 4 interceptions and had a quarterback rating of 61.7. Matt Stafford lost and he threw 3 interceptions and had a quarterback rating of 63.1. I don't get into stats much, but if you're going to start comparing Tua to other quarterbacks, look what happened this weekend. The Dolphins got a win. Tua had a quarterback rating over 100. He outplayed Joe Burrow and he outplayed Matthew Stafford in a 20-7 win. We got to take that and move on and just tell the sports journals to shut up. So please, save your Tua sucks rants for someone who doesn't know football. Right now, I just want Tua to learn how to end a bad play. If the play is not there, it's not there. Don't worry about it. Don't take the hit. Don't take the sack. Kill it. Move on to the next play. That's my recap on the game, and then tomorrow I'm going to break down a few of the plays that caught my eye. But now I want to hear what you think. What did you think about the overall performance of the Miami Dolphins in yesterday's first game of the season? Go ahead, leave me a comment, tell me what you thought. And if you'd like to see any of my other videos, go ahead and click on one of these 2 right here to look at one of my other Miami Dolphins videos. Fins up, this game's in the books. Let's move on to the Baltimore Ravens.